The Tribe returns home tied atop the AL Central, and they've been riding their pitching staff so far this season. Justin Masterson gets his third start against the Orioles, who are riding a 4-game losing streak after being swept in the Bronx. It's Jackie Robinson night in Major League Baseball, and we have Game 1 of this 3-game series next on Sports Time Ohio. Oh, it's good to be back home as the Indians return for a brief 3-game homestand, opening it up tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. I'm Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Good news is the Indians are playing good baseball, even though they lost their last 2 coming into tonight's action. They're 8-4 on the season, tied atop the AL Central Division standings, and a big reason for their hot start, Rick, getting out early in series. You win the first game of a series, and it sets you up. Now you only got to win one of the final 2 to take that series.
It certainly helps you, and what a difference a year makes, because last year they lost 9 of their first 10 series openers. This year, 3-1. It's because of the offense. Over 7 runs a ball game. But overall, their pitching has carried them, kept them in ball games. So anytime you have that combination, it's going to be very, very good. But it's always nice, as you mentioned, get that first win, and then you win 1 out of the next 2, and that's the goal, is to win the series.
Well, Justin Masterson off to a great start this year for the Tribe, and what's impressive most about him so far, Rick, he hasn't given up many hits, period, but when he does, he's only given up 2 hits with runners on base this year.
Well, let's check out the pitching matchup from the Chrysler 200. It's Zach Britton, the left-hander. He has been outstanding this year. When you only 4-hit the Texas Rangers, that's a very nice performance. He's 2-0 with a .66. Justin Masterson has been almost as good. He may have given up a few more runs, but I'll tell you one thing. He's repeating his delivery a little bit more. He's not spinning off the ball. He's changing speeds. He's able to get left-handers out to this point, and he has been a big help. As a matter of fact, after they lost their first 2 ball games, Justin's the guy that got them started out on the right track when they won their 8 straight games. So he's going for his 3rd win tonight.
All right, see if the Indians can keep the Orioles reeling. They've lost 4 straight coming into tonight's ball game. Back with the first pitch on Sports Time Ohio right after this. Masterson takes the field for the Tribe, looking to run his record to 3-0 to start the year. Let's look at the starting 9 for Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles. Brian Roberts, switch hitter, leads it off. Then Nick Markakis, followed by a couple of veterans, Derek Lee and Vladimir Guerrero. Luke Scott will bat in the 5-hole. Then it's Adam Jones, followed by Mark Reynolds, switch hitting catcher Matt Wieters, and the shortstop Cesar Izturis.
Justin Masterson making his 3rd start of the year, his 2nd start
here at Progressive Field. 2-0, 135 ERA. He has been brilliant this year. Just 11 hits in his 13 in the third innings, 9 punch-outs. He has been very good. Left-handers hitting 300, and I'm sure he'll see his share of left-handers, but he has been able to replicate and duplicate that rhythm and motion coming to home plate and throwing strikes, and that's going to be the key for Justin, is throwing strikes and not giving up any walks. 2-3 in his career against the Orioles. Let's check out the Home Depot defense. Duncan Brantley chewing the outfield. Everett has Drupal Cabrera at short, Orlando Cabrera at second, Laporta's at first, Lou Marson is behind the plate tonight. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Here are the umpires for tonight's ball game. Brian Onora will call the balls and strikes. Alfonso Marquez is at first. Ed Hickox at second. Corey Blazer is at third. Indians come in with a mark of 8-4. Indians tied with Kansas City atop the AL Central Division standings. Baltimore, meanwhile, 6-5. They were 6-1 before this 4-game losing streak. They at one point had a 1.5 lead in the AL East. They begin play a game back of the Yankees.
They went into New York, and New York spanked them, as like they usually do.
Lost one of those games in that series to rain, so they'll have to make that up.
Had a tough loss, extra inning game last night where the Yankees tied it in the 9th and won it.
Brian Roberts leads it off, looks at a ball inside. If you're wondering, all players wearing number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson as we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day throughout the major leagues. Brian Roberts, just a .213 average out of the gate, but already 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. And there's a high fly ball to shallow center. Michael Brantley is under it. And that's quickly 1 out. Take a look at the injury report. Tonight, the Indians getting Joe Smith back off the disabled list. And Frank Herman was sent down to AAA. So that leaves Grady Sizemore and Jason Donald both on the 15-day DL. And for Baltimore, J.J. Hardy with an oblique strain on the 15-day DL, along with Justin Dukeshire and Brian Mattis. Nick Markakis, the Orioles right fielder. Already a couple of homers and a couple of doubles to his credit.
Well, this guy's just a
strike called.
Flat-out good hitter. He led all baseball hitting against left-handers last year.
He's a good all-around player, too. Plays a very good right field. Good arm.
Good assist. Well, he plays that wall out in Baltimore very well.
Routine bouncer to second base. Orlando Cabrera bobbles it a little bit, but able to hang right with it for out number 2. So far, Justin Masterson in his 2 previous starts, of his 40 outs, 24 have come via the ground ball, and that's about what you expect.
Yeah, for a guy that led the league in that department last year, you like to see his ball moves so much. I mean, you just sit down at the middle of the plate and it's there. It's just going to move one way or the other.
I thought it was interesting too, Rick, and when we talked to Justin about the strikeouts. The one start he had against the White Sox, I don't think he had any strikeouts.
Right, he didn't have any. You're right.
Then he came back and
punched out 9.
And he said, well, the White Sox were getting after it early in the count. They didn't want to get behind, so they were more aggressive. Whereas Seattle, he was throwing strike 1 and then sometimes strike 2, and that's how you get the strikeouts.
You know what's funny though? Against Chicago, they had success getting after Carmona early. Or they were patient with him. I take it back, and Carmona couldn't put him away. They got aggressive with Justin, which you like to see.
Yeah. And it might not have mattered because Masterson, at least so far this year, has really been in a good mechanical place where he's throwing a lot of strikes.
He said he's repeating his delivery, and that's just getting a feel out there.
Ooh, close pitch, didn't get the call.
Yeah, he's awfully tough on right-handers. Once he learns how to get left-handers out on a consistent basis, he's going to be very, very good. This one a little low outside. Not much, but it might have been a little away.
Now the 2-2. Bang to third. Adam Everett, long throw across, and that is out number 3. The Orioles go in order. Indians coming to bat when we return. Look at Manny Acta's starting nine, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley will lead it off. Then it's Asdrubal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo. Shelly Duncan in the cleanup spot tonight. Then it's Travis Hafner, Orlando Cabrera, Matt Laporta at first. Lou Marson will catch, and Adam Everett is at third, hitting ninth.
On to face 23-year-old Zach Britton, who is 6'3", 195 pounds, off to a terrific start, 2-0, has given up just one run. That was coming in his first start. He pitched his first game against the Tampa Bay Rays, made his major league debut, went 6 innings, 1 run. In his second start, his home debut back in Baltimore, about 7 2/3 against the Rangers, and did not allow a run. And only 4 hits. He was dealing, so he's off to a terrific start as well. Never facing the Indians before.
And Michael Brantley to lead it off, looks at a ball outside. Britton deals, it's wide of the mark. 2 balls and no strikes.
Looks like I've only seen 2 pitches. A little short armor, doesn't he?
I noticed some of the video I saw
sudden,
earlier.
Boom, boom,
yeah.
and it comes out and it looks like it'll get on you quickly.
Now the 2-0.
Either that or he hides it very well, where he takes his ball right behind the leg. It's tough to see it coming out of his hand.
You could tell in his last start, watching the video of his start against Texas, the ball gets on the hitters quickly. There's a smash to short. Cesar Torres throws him out, 1 away.
Well, speaking of defense, let's check the Orioles' defense behind Britton tonight. Scott's in left, Jones in center, Markakis is in right. Reynolds is at third, Asturis at short, Roberts at second, Lee is at first, Wieters behind the plate. They have the same number of errors the Indians do, 5. That's number 1 and 2. The Indians are ranked first with the fielding percentage, the Orioles second.
Zach Britton, a third-round pick of the Orioles back in 06 out of Weatherford High School in Texas. Passing up a scholarship to Texas A&M in the process. He misses up high to Asdrubal Cabrera, and the count is 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. That smashed foul into the photo well just past the Indians' dugout. Zach Britton was the Orioles minor league pitcher of the year last season. He only had 10 wins, but an ERA of 2.70 between AA Bowie and AAA Norfolk. Bouncer to third. Big hop. Fielded cleanly by Mark Reynolds. And the former Diamondback throws out Cabrera, 2 down. That'll bring up Shin-Soo Choo. Started to turn things around on the Indians' road trip out west. He was 7 for 21. But as we've seen in the past, Choo's one of those guys that when he gets hot, he can carry a team offensively.
Well, what he does, he stays hot. And the sad thing about it, when you looked at it, it was 3, 4, and 5 that really put a damper on him offensively when we were in the LA series. Asdrubal Cabrera had a couple of big hits, had a home run, seemed like every time in the first inning. But Santana really struggled. He has the night off, and when your 3, 4, 5 guys struggle, you're in for a long night. They had opportunities in the final game against the Angels to come home and win it. They just couldn't put it away.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Choo. And Choo strikes out in a strong first inning for Zach Britton. McDonald's. Hit a home run with a delicious frappe or real fruit smoothie from McDonald's. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Justin Masterson comes right out, fires a first pitch strike to Vladimir Guerrero, who comes in riding a 7-game hitting streak. And he hits a ball that was barely off the ground.
Well, there's no scouting report for this guy. You just throw the baseball, and he's going to find a way to put it in play. He always has. Such a great set of hands. But, you know, they went out and they needed some power. They needed some offense, and they signed Guerrero. They signed Lee.
Definitely gives them some veteran presence in the middle of that lineup.
And Mark Reynolds, the guy from Arizona, who's got some pop in that bat. Sure, he strikes out a little bit, but he can hit him.
In the gap in left center field, but there is Shelley Duncan to grab it for out number 1. Well, Justin Masterson rolling here early tonight, and Katie Witham has more on the right-hander's fast start.
Yeah, Matt, you and Rick mentioned, you talked about his consistent delivery out there. Well, I had a chance to speak with Indians pitching coach Tim Belcher down in the clubhouse today, and he said, you know, within the last year, he's really seen a lot of improvement within Justin Masterson's game. He said simply he's put in the time in the offseason, in practice, in just focusing on being more consistent and throwing more strikes. And you know what? It's made all the difference. He's 2-0 when he's on the mound so far this season for the Indians, a 1.35 ERA, and he played a huge role in Saturday's 2-1 road win over the Mariners, guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. Now he fields a little tapper back to the mound to throw out Luke Scott. 2 quick outs here in inning number 2.
Well, he's just going to continue, I think, to get better and better. You know, and you know, people were saying, "Oh, he's a bullpen guy. You can't put him out there." But this guy's 6'5".
I was one of those guys.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you, you're seeing he scratched the surface. You show a little patience. How many guys do you find 6'5", 250 that his ball moves all over the place? If you can harness him, if he can throw strikes, him and Carmona, I'll tell you, those are uncomfortable at bats against those guys. It's not easy because of the movement. That gives you a pretty good 1-2 punch, but they have to separate them because they both throw similar.
Adam Jones tried to bunt it, fouled it back. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know that Justin knows exactly or can tell you exactly what it was, but something clicked for him, you know, late in last year. And even he said, you know, I thought I was headed back to the bullpen because he wasn't pitching well.
Well, that's
but
just
he found
because
he
found
that
such
mechanical rhythm.
He had, you know, a streak on the road where he couldn't win. He went so many games without a win, and it's depressing after a while. But the guy's attitude remained positive.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a great guy. He's got good makeup, so you can build from that. And he's a spinner is what he is. His top half, he likes to go east and west and spin sometimes, and it's tough to repeat your delivery when you do that. His head has got to go straight to home plate, and he can be much more consistent. Now, when he starts to learn to throw changeups and breaking balls to the left-handers for strikes, then he's going to improve on that is his next thing.
Adam Jones goes fishing. First strikeout for Masterson. 6 up, 6 down for the Birds. Shelly Duncan, Travis Hafner, Orlando Cabrera due up for the Tribe. Shelly Duncan getting the start in left field tonight. And he's a right-handed bat that gives the Indians a different look against the left-handed pitcher. Not that Austin Kearns wouldn't also give you that same look, but, you know, Shelly Duncan's done a nice job when it comes to facing left-handed pitching. And that's why he gets an opportunity here tonight, but he sends this one sky high on the infield. Derek Lee, first baseman, has it. One quick out. All right, let's take a look at our AT&T trivia question tonight. Other than Jackie Robinson, he's the only other player since World War II with 15 or more steals at home plate. We'll have the answer coming up later on. Here's Travis Hafner. Hafner in an 0 for 9 slide right now. Takes a strike and the count evens at 1-1. Caught the outside part of the plate. Hafner looks back at Brian Honora in disbelief. Hafner really swung the bat well on the opening homestand, going 7 for 19. A little bit wide of the mark, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the home half of inning number 2.
Well, Travis is going to have to continue to swing the bat well if they're going to, you know, do some damage. He's in the middle part of the lineup. He's the veteran. He's going to have to take a little pressure off Santana. And right now, Chu's going to have to, you know, pick it up as well. Yeah, I find it funny a little bit because the opening homestand, that's when the weather was brutal. And, you know, tough hitting weather. We went on the West Coast, and it was not bad.
There's the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Zach Britton. 2 down here in inning number 2. STOHD.com is your web source for Ohio sports. Right now at STOHD.com, check out Greg Popelka's story of Daddy Wags, Leon Wagner. It's a great story, and especially if you don't know much about Daddy Wags. It's a sad story, but nonetheless, very well done by Greg.
He used to own a clothing store. Buy your rags at Daddy Wags.
Yeah, and Greg's story points out that I think he borrowed against his salary from the Angels to keep the store going, and then
things
kind of went south. Yeah, but he was a popular player there. He's a popular player here in Cleveland. Two down, bases empty for Orlando Cabrera. And a quick 1-2-3 second. Boy, both pitchers on their A game here tonight at the outset. Great in this moment. All right, so no scores. We go to the top of the third. Both pitchers 6 up, 6 down through the first 2 frames. Bottom third of the Orioles order here in inning number 3. Mark Reynolds, Matt Wieters, Cesar Izturis.
I guess pretty much what you would expect with the way both pitchers have started the season.
I mean, this
both
is a good night to
2-0.
pitch with the wind blowing straight in tonight. But
sure,
these two guys look like they'd be locked in if the wind was blowing out.
Well, to this point, they would be.
Reynolds, a big slugger with terrific power. And so far, he's been pretty clutch, even though he is a guy who will strike out a lot.
You know, I think both teams, when they made that trade between the Diamondbacks and the Orioles, were both happy with what they received.
Quick out here to open the third. Let's check in once again with our Katie Wetham on the latest the Country Music Festival coming this summer.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. The Indians' first ever music festival. These guys excited about it. As you can see, Brad Paisley, he's going to be here along with Blake Shelton. 10 artists are coming to Progressive Field. It's Saturday, June 11th. If you don't have your tickets yet, you want to stop by a newsstand, pick up today's Plain Dealer. They have a discounted ticket offer. You guys are excited about it, right?
Yeah, baby!
Absolutely. Guys, back over to you.
Katie, that guy to your left was really working the air guitar pretty strong. All right, Matt Wieters, Orioles switch hitting catcher, batting just .212. Made a little adjustment with his hitting stance with hitting coach Jim Presley. They went back and looked at video from Wieters in '09, and he said he was just getting too spread out at home plate. So they've got him more upright and his feet a little closer together, working on his stride into the ball.
I remember, see, we don't get to play these guys that often. But when we do, when he's at his best, this guy's got power the opposite way from either side of the plate. He's a big, strong guy. He's about 6'5", you know, and he can shoot it the other way. So it makes sense.
And there's a weak tapper back to the mound again for Masterson. Easy play, 2 down. And they'll go to the 9th place hitter, Cesar Izturis. Torres, switch hitter, batting .300 on
just left his brother out in Los Angeles. So far tonight, Justin Masterson, 5 of 8 first pitch strikes.
As Torres shoots it out of play.
6-9.
Foul tipped it into the glove of Lou Marson. Two-strike pitch, yanked to first. And an easy play for Matt Laporta. Justin Masterson, perfect, through 3. He goes through the bottom third of the order on 9 pitches. dealing here in the early going. Problem is, so is Zach Britton. He struck out 3 through the first 2 innings. And he'll go to work on Matt Laporta, Lou Marson, and Adam Everett here in the home half of the third at Progressive Field. Laporta with a high fly ball, left field. Scott back on the track. He's looking up, and it's high off the wall and into second base. And now headed for third is Laporta, and the throw, and he is out at third. No, he dropped the ball. Oh, what a break for the Tribe.
Boy, it sure was. You know, you make that out there. You say you never make the first or third out at third base. That ball went high off the wall, but Matt kicked it in after Scott in left field didn't field it cleanly, or the ball actually ricocheted past him. But he was out if Reynolds holds on to it, and I don't know what happened there when he comes in. That ball was high. I don't know if the wind had anything to do with it.
Oh, just missed,
yes,
didn't
it did. Now watch, Scott just kept running and then realizes he's coming. The throw's right there. One hopper. He just never caught it cleanly.
He sure didn't.
So I don't know. They give him a triple? Yes, they did.
Yeah. Infield back for Lou Marson. And a ball down low.
You know what? If you make that like he did, it's all right. Way to hustle. Well, good job. Good job. You get thrown out there saying, "What are you doing, man? You're in scoring position." But you can't say anything. He made it.
The 1-0 pitch. And that misses low. 2 balls, no strikes. I mean, there's Lou's crew in the bleachers. Marson's got his fan club here.
Well, good. You know, good for him. He's off to a good start.
Go ahead and drive one out there to Lou's crew.
Absolutely.
There's a line drive base hit into right field. Marson plates Laporta, and the Indians grab the early 1-0 lead.
Well, there you go. Hey, Lou swinging a bat well, not getting a lot of opportunities. It's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Guy doesn't get a chance to play often, but when he does, takes him the other way, gives the Indians a 1-0 lead. That would have got him home even if they make a play, but he gets rewarded with a base hit.
Lou's crew is loving it. Adam Everett watches Britton fire one over to first. Buck Showalter took over last year in Baltimore and immediately turned things around for the Birds. And there's a hot shot up the middle. Adam Everett. And the Indians have 3 straight hits off Britton to open the third inning. Take a look at our great clip of the game brought to you by Great Clips. Let's go back to Wednesday in Anaheim. Remember this, Michael Brantley just missed what would have been a game-tying home run. Turned out to be an RBI double. Relax, you're at Great Clips. As Brantley continues to sizzle.
Yes, he's off to a very good start. Love him in that leadoff spot. Wouldn't be surprised here early. I know it's early, but maybe just try and move him over for the right-hander on deck. When you have Masterson on the mound, a couple of runs could certainly pay big dividends.
Let's see what Brantley is doing. Again, he has been swinging a very hot bat. Well, Matt Wieder's going to come out and flash the signs of the infield.
Well, I'll tell you what the 7, 8, 9 guys did after Laporta's hit, man. The other 2 guys got aggressive early. They got the 3 hits coming on 5 pitches.
Turn, nothing doing.
Well, that may be the case where he's turning to see if Brantley was going to turn and square, to see if he would give away that he would be bunting, which is not a bad play.
Brantley squares, looks outside, ball 1.
See, I like this early part of the game where you have a situation like this. You try and get Masterson as many runs as you can the way he's throwing the baseball.
Even as hot as Brantley has been swinging the bat?
Yes, I do. I sort of like this. You've got one, you've got nobody out. Let's go. Let's play for 2 and 3 and have a big inning. Sometimes when you play for the 1 run, you end up having big innings.
Yep.
But if not, they'd love to tack at least one more on there.
Now, not showing bunt takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
You know, this is a team where not swinging the bat's great. I know Brantley is. It'd be different if it's later in the game. You see, he didn't do it in L.A. one time late in the ball game against a left-hander against Downs when he let him man on first base, got the base hit in the hole in the first and third of them.
Yeah.
But right now, for this point in time, I like it.
You got Chu in the hole, Cabrera on deck. And the 1-1 to Brantley with 2 on, nobody out. He squares.
Yes.
Well done.
Beautiful.
Britton picks it up, throws.
Yes.
Got in time.
See?
Brantley beats it out. And Buck Showalter's going to come out and argue.
Oh.
It was very close.
That was bang, bang. But you see, he got the call. And I'll tell you, that's why I like it. Something like that happened. He did his job. Michael did. He hustled down the line. Now, whether he was safe or out, Alfonso Marquez called him safe. It was a bang, bang play. Buck Showalter certainly didn't think so. And I'm sure we're going to get another look at it. But now the break goes the Indians' way, and they got a chance to take advantage of it. Great bunt. Down to third baseline. Britton comes off the mound. He's going to make the play. And by the time he throws, I couldn't tell from that angle.
Angle, he looks safe.
Well, Marquez is right there. He's in good position. I don't know if we can see where that ball's coming in here.
Good call.
Well,
I mean, it's very, very close. I can certainly see Showalter arguing it, but
it could have went either way. But he gets rewarded with a base hit.
Now is Drupal Cabrera a chance to really make him pay. Bases loaded, nobody out, and a swing and a miss.
Start him out with a changeup, which is a very good pitch. You figure the guy's geared fastball.
The Angels finally cooled off Cabrera. He went 2 for 11 in that series.
Yeah, homer and a triple.
Yeah, I mean, his first inning prowess, though, has still been pretty good.
Well, look at that. Foot's on its way down. If it's not almost on the bag, the ball is in the glove.
Yeah, you're not going to get any
closer. Is Brantley wearing white shoes? I can't tell.
Yep.
Well, maybe that's why he got. Maybe that's why he got the call. I couldn't tell on that shot there if it was if his foot was on the base or not.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, they're
There
sort of
you
white.
go. Well, yes, the toes are white. They look like golf shoes.
Somehow, I don't think that would be legal.
Well, I don't think you can wear those spikes on the green, or it wouldn't be very green for long.
1-2 pitch. Up the middle it goes, and it's through. Marson scores. Here comes Everett. No throw to the plate. It's a 2-run single for Drupal Cabrera. 5 straight hits to open the third, and it's a 3-0 Indians lead. Boy, you talk about perfect placement right up the gut.
Well, let me see. He got him. That looked like it might have been one more changeup. Hard to tell, but that ball was down enough, and it looked middle of the plate, and he went right back up the middle. Once it gets past, it looked like Britton slowed it down.
Well, it hit the front side of the mound, so that definitely slowed it up.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, a nice job on a 1-2 pitch to drive in a pair, and it's 5 straight, and they've got 3 runs and a chance to tack on more. So the bottom part of this lineup sparks this Indians offense.
$12 ribbies. That's tied for the best in the American League. Well, he didn't do it in the first inning.
Well, that's okay. I'll take the second inning at home. First inning's on the road.
He waited to get some guys on base this time. Now Shin-Soo Choo struck out his first time up. And Chu with a broken bat blooper. That's going to drop. The runners had to hold up because it just looked like Brantley wasn't sure. Maybe he lost it. Maybe he didn't see it. But he really held up And I don't know that he would have scored unless he took off anyway.
He wouldn't have. He wanted to make sure he could get to third base, and you have to do that because Chu shattered his bat. But with Scott in left field, it doesn't matter who's playing. That was going to fall in.
That's a 6th straight hit for the Indians to open this inning.
There it goes. There's no one, you couldn't tell. It's all right. You just move up a base. They have him loaded again.
And Shelley Duncan is the batter. Now Duncan popped up on the infield his first time to the plate. And a foul tip. So far on the year, Duncan is 3 for 6 against left-handers. Now the 0-1. Caught the inside corner, and now Duncan is down 0-2. Our game time temperature here tonight was 47 degrees, and that breeze blowing straight in from center at about 20 miles an hour or so.
It's supposed to be windy all weekend, down here.
40th pitch of the night for Britton, and it's fouled off by Duncan.
Yeah, this young man, he really needs to get it out somewhere because the Indians 6 straight hits.
3 runs in, bases loaded, nobody out.
The Indians trying to tack on a couple more and really have a big inning with an opportunity.
Well, that has been their success formula so far this year, and that is playing from in front. When they've been able to do that, get the early lead, they've been dynamite.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good way to play.
Grounded third base, just foul.
You know, it always takes a little more pressure when you have that lead. The pitchers can go out, and it's not like they relax or they do something differently, but they don't have to be as fine. There's the ball. We saw that a couple of times where both guys, one got hit.
Dribble Cabrera got hit.
Yeah,
in foul ground.
Almost 2 guys in one game got hit like that.
You're right. Then it was somebody for the Red Sox that almost got hit in the same game.
Was it Euclid or somebody almost got drilled?
Yeah. Duncan still down on the count, 0-2. Low and in. And what has been a long inning continues for Zach Britton. Remember, he retired the first 6 in a row with 3 strikeouts. But then Matt Laporta with a high triple off the wall in left field and caught a break when Mark Reynolds couldn't hold the throw from left field. Swing and a miss. He gets the out with the K. 1 down. Saw Buck Showalter on the phone, so the Orioles bullpen is right now starting to get busy.
He located this heater in a nice spot, down and in. That's a good pitch with 2 strikes to the right-handed hitter. So he finally gets his first out, and he has to
for
do
a
it on his
fastball.
own.
That ball had a lot of.
May have had some run to it. Sometimes left-handers have a tough time throwing it straight, unless that's a 92-mile-an-hour cutter. Which, if it is, well, I don't know. I don't think
looked like it was moving. I don't know.
Well, it usually does coming out of a left-hander's arm.
Travis Hafner. I think you're right. I think his fastball just has a lot of natural movement.
You know, the Indians have fared well against left-handers so far this year. They were hitting 313 against them, 292 with runners on base and 272 with runners in scoring position, and 4-1 this year against lefties.
Hafner takes a strike, and the count is 1-1. Michael Brantley is at third as Dribble Cabrera at second. Shin-Soo Choo down at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And that's low, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, you want to get at least 1 more in here. Baltimore, a team that has been struggling to score runs up until yesterday. They had a 30-inning scoreless drought. So the more you can put a big inning on the board, the tougher it is for that offense.
There's a fly ball right field. Markakis over to his right makes the catch. Brantley tags. He's coming home as Dribble Cabrera tags at second and goes to third. It's a 4-0 Indians lead as Travis Hafner picks up his 7th RBI on the year with the sac fly.
There you go.
And remember, that was another key play in this inning. Brantley's sacrifice bunt that ended up being a base hit when he beat out the throw.
Turn the inning around. Remember I said sometimes you play for a
small ball.
And you end up getting a big ball.
We might have something there. A new strategy. Play for small ball, end up with big ball.
Well, that's already the Indians' 7th sacrifice fly, which is that's doing a good job. And they're saying Cabrera left early. He did. I was watching him, and I thought it might have been a half a step early. There was no reason for him to go, so cancel a run.
Brian O'Nora on the appeal play that ended the inning. The run does count, and the Indians lead it by a score of 4-0.
You know, we don't have it, but I was watching, the guys tag up because you mentioned it. Markakis has a good arm, and I figured if anything he may throw to third base. And I was watching second, and it looked like he could have left early.
I got to tell you, I was surprised to see his dribble going toward third just because of the arm Markakis has. There's a ground ball, and it skips past Adam Everett. And Brian Roberts has a leadoff single. He was in on the grass because, with Roberts, you always expect a potential bunt.
Right. It was a high sinker, and let's see, that ball on the grass, and almost looked like he could have had it right there. Maybe it was hit harder than he thought. It got by him before he knew it.
Now Nick Markakis fouling it out of play. And a strike called. Markakis didn't appear to like the call. And a weak tapper hit to third. Everett will go to second. They get one there. They erase the speedy Roberts for out number one. Well, before the ball game tonight, the national anthem was sung by Paul Bryson, who is a laryngologist with the Cleveland Clinic's Head and Neck Institute. And he was singing the national anthem to bring about recognition for World Voice Day, which is actually tomorrow. And that encourages men and women, young and old, to assess their vocal health and to take action to improve and maintain good voice habits. He did a nice job singing the anthem, too.
Yes, he did.
Derek Lee grounded to third his first time up. And a good pitch from Justin Masterson, and it's quickly 0-2.
Hey, we want to send out a special birthday wish to Marge Gordon of Westlake. She is 101 today. So, Marge, a very happy special birthday to you.
Must be a big night for the 101 Club.
We've got another one, 2 in one night.
Mary Niedenhauser, who watches every game, is celebrating her 101st birthday here tonight on Tax Day as well.
Happy birthday to both of you. That's great.
The 1-2 pitch fouled back out of play. Indians out to a 4-0 lead, fourth inning. 1 on, 1 out. Justin Masterson, 41 pitches. How about this? 31 have been strikes so far. And a little number foul. He's had 2 weak tappers right back to the mound. A couple of balls hit to the first baseman. I mean, they haven't squared anything up on him.
No. And 7 straight first pitch strikes. And when you got a guy where his ball moves as much as Justin does, when you get strike one, it just expands that zone for the hitters.
In the hole. Backhanded stop by Cabrera. Throw to second. Not in time. Boy, it was a spectacular effort. We give Markakis credit from Baltimore hustling into second base to just beat the force.
Nice play. There's nothing you could do about it. It looked like he almost rolled over on that wrist. As he's going to his right. Watch his wrist. Almost, but it flipped over. And he made it awfully close. A terrific effort. Look at, ooh. Terrific effort by Cabrera. You can see Orlando stretching like he's a first baseman. But Markakis beats it. So an infield hit.
Now Masterson will face Vladimir Guerrero with 2 on and 1 out. And this is where Masterson has been dynamite so far. He has given up 1 hit this year with a runner in scoring position. 1 for 14 the opponents are against him with a runner in scoring position. Foul tipped. It's 0-2. And the Indians in general have been very good. The White Sox started out like gangbusters. Remember in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
They were 15 for 27 with runners in scoring position. Since then, opponents are 5 for 57.
They have done a tremendous job.
2-strike pitch. A little bit low. Almost got away, but I think Marson caught a break. It might have hit Brian O'Nora's foot and stayed right there.
You know, that's one of the things here. You want to keep that double play alive. There's that sinker where it's got more movement than you think as a catcher. And it did hit a piece of his shin guard, and I think it did get a piece of the foot of O'Nora.
And the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He got him. Second strikeout for Masterson. 2 down here in the 4th.
Well, this is one guy that, you know, you never feel safe, but that ball, he will expand that zone. That's a good hard sinker off the plate, and he's able to get Guerrero to chase it. Gets the punchy.
Luke Scott Little tapper right back to the mound his first time up. And he fouls it straight back.
Yeah, Baltimore, they had it into Cleveland early this year. This is the only time they come to Cleveland. And we don't go see them until the first series after the All-Star break for 4.
That's it then, huh? One here, one there?
Right.
The 0-1. A little bit outside. Two on, two out. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Luke Scott. Next pitch will be number 50 for Masterson. But again, he continues to pound the strike zone. 37 out of his 49 tosses have been strikes. And that rolls foul. Still got some folks filing in here at Progressive Field. Bleachers are starting to fill up. Indians back home for just a 3-game weekend series here against Baltimore. After spending a week out on the West Coast, the Indians will head right back out on the road. They'll go to Kansas City and Minnesota next week. The 2-2 pitch. Up the middle, it went right through Masterson. Brantley charging hard, coming around third. Markakis to the plate.
Cut it.
Ball is cut off, but then dropped by Laporta. They had Derek Lee out at third by 10 feet, but Laporta did not come up with the cutoff.
Well, that's exactly what Michael Brantley was trying to do. You hit your cutoff man, and with Lee going to third, he was a dead duck. You just have to catch the ball and throw it to third base, but he couldn't hold on to it. I mean, this ball shot past Masterson. He gave him a little swinging room out over the plate. And there it goes into center field. Now watch Brantley. He's not going to have a chance at home, but Lee, he stopped, and then there it is. You just catch the ball. He went to the backhanded side and just didn't field it cleanly.
Now Adam Jones steps in, struck out his first time up. And a little topper. Third baseman Adam Everett throws on the run, and he got him. Boy, a slick play by Everett to end the inning. Orioles get on the board. But after 4, it's the Tribe on top, 4-1. Bottom of the 4th here at Progressive Field. And a drive with a 4-1 lead. They were about to bat around in the third inning. Orlando Cabrera stepped to the plate, but before he got a chance to see a pitch, the Orioles appealed. Zach Britton tossed one down to second base, and on the appeal play, they ruled that Asdrubal Cabrera had left too early, and so the inning ended.
You know, that's a play you rarely see called as well. You know, it's tough. I mean, how many times do you see it?
It gets appealed a lot.
Yes, but how many times do you see him ring them up?
Not that often.
They got to be absolutely sure.
Ground ball, hard hit to short. Is Torres. Throws out Orlando Cabrera, one away.
Well, you can still sit in the best seats here at Progressive Field this year with prorated season tickets, and full season ticket holders get a free Terrace Club membership. Now, prorated season tickets are available now at Indians.com, or you can call 216-420-HITS.
Strike called. Matt Laporta. He got the rally started in the third inning when he hit a triple high off the wall and left. And it's quickly 0-2.
Well, Britton in the first two innings, he threw a total of 24 pitches. But in that last inning where they had 6 straight hits, he ended up throwing 23 pitches. So they really made him work.
Pushed him off the plate. And a hard foul ball, third base side. A little bit low. That's a pitch that he has worked on a lot. Britton actually got a lot of help from his teammate Brian Mattis, who's currently on the DL, about throwing his changeup.
Well, that's the separator, isn't it? That changeup. If you can throw that changeup at any count, you will be successful. CC Sabathia never developed till he started to learn how to throw his changeup. In 2-0, 3-1 counts, if you remember.
Up high, missed, ball 4. A 1-out walk to Laporta. Hey, don't miss the Browns draft party Thursday, April 28th at Browns Stadium. It's a free party, and it begins at 5. It will include complete first-round draft coverage, live music, and appearances by Browns alumni. Plus, you can choose your season tickets from the best available inventory. For more information, call 877-6-BROWNS. Here is Lou Marson, an RBI single into right field, his first time up. And a strike is called. Got to feel that Lou's crew might start to grow in numbers. He's off to a great start this year. Marson is 4 for 7 at the plate. And a little bit too high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, he certainly wants to rebound offensively from the kind of year he had last year. He did a nice job receiving. He did a nice job throwing runners out. Had the best, percentage in the league. So now he wants to, he wants to show people he can hit.
And a bouncer up the middle. The shortstop is Torres. Steps on the bag, throws to first. Inning ending, double play. We head to the 5th inning here in Cleveland. It's the Indians 4 and the Orioles 1. United, proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, it's time to join the Hyundai movement. Thanks to a 4-run third inning, the Tribe leads it as we go to the fifth inning by a score of 4-1. Bottom third of the Orioles order due up here: Mark Reynolds, Matt Wieters, Cesar Izturis. Fastball strike to Reynolds.
I hate to keep count, but that's 11 straight first pitch strikes. I know Tim Belcher doesn't hate it.
No, he doesn't mind it at all.
No, he loves every one of them.
The Orioles have 3 hits through the first 4 innings that has led to their run. They were hitless through the first 3, and that has been about on par because this Indians pitching staff has done a tremendous job early in the season, not allowing teams to have a lot of scoring opportunities. As that ball's punched toward right, easy play there for Shin-Soo Choo, and that's out number 1. Let's go back to the studios right now for an in-game update.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's go to New York. They're hosting the Rangers. The Yankees are in Texas, out to the early lead. Michael Young with a long drive here. Off the wall for a double. It scores Elvis Andrus from first base. Texas took a 2-0 lead. It's now 2-1 Rangers, bottom of the 4th at Yankee Stadium. Back to you, Matt.
Matt Wieters looks at a ball up and in. Through the first 12 games this year, the Indians' opponent's batting average is just .210. Through the first 12 games of a season, that's the lowest for an Indians team since 1971, when the staff held their opponents to just a .209 average through the first 12 games. Now, does that mean anything in the long run? Probably not, because the 71 Indians finished with 102 losses.
Still have 150 games to go.
That staff, by the way, was anchored by Sam McDowell, who made 31 starts, was 13-17, logged 214 2/3 innings of work. It also featured Steve Dunning, Alan Foster, Mike Paul, left-hander, Rich Hand, and Steve Hargan, who was a hard thrower, but that was a bad year for him. He was 1-13 that year with an ERA of over 6.
Ouch.
Interestingly enough, the team that checks in right behind this version of the Indians is the 91 Tribe, which lost 105 games.
Was it 105? That's right.
But that was a staff that had Greg Swindell, a very young Charlie Nagy, Rod Nichols, Tom Candiotti, Dave Otto.
Yeah. Candy.
So, no, it doesn't really mean anything other than it is what it is. They haven't given up a lot of hits. Yeah,
that's okay.
What you hope.
This team is going to, they're going to go as far as their young pitchers are going to be able to carry them. And, you don't expect them to go out of the chute and do this all year long, but it certainly is nice. You have young pitchers. You're going to have some ups and downs.
Big chopper to first. Matt Laporta takes it himself in an easy 1-2-3 fifth for Justin Masterson. here at Progressive Field.
Dress in layers. That's smart. You know, it seems so much different when that wind's blowing out. You know, when it comes in.
Ball game,
yeah, it really is.
Adam Everett leading off, then Michael Brantley and Asdrubal Cabrera. Everett has certainly made the most of his opportunities, and he hasn't had a ton of them. But he's had 10 plate appearances, and as you see there, he's gone 4 for 9. Tapper foul. Quickly 0-2 the count. Adam had an RBI single in the Indians' 4-run third inning. And he strikes out here. 5th K for Zach Britton. 1 down in the 5th. Here's our Miller Taste Greatness moment. On this date in 1947, Jackie Robinson made his debut with the Los Angeles Dodgers, officially breaking Brooklyn Dodgers, officially breaking baseball's color barrier. And 11 weeks later, Larry Doby would make his debut for the Cleveland Indians in the American League.
Those ballparks didn't look like the ones do now, do they?
No.
Big difference, huh? The bases, a lot of.
Brantley with a bunt single and a run scored in the 3rd. 1-2 the count.
This will be a good test for the young man, the 23-year-old Zach Britton. See how he comes back and settles in after that one bump in the road back in the 3rd inning. Still throwing the ball well. Every hit coming in that inning. 6 straight hits for the Indians. And you mentioned that the biggest one was the sacrifice that Brantley laid down. That was bang, bang, and he was called safe.
Fouled that off his body in the box. You notice every player wearing Jackie Robinson's number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson's day. First Rookie of the Year award winner. 6 times an All-Star. 6 times in the Fall Classic.
Well, and that last one said they inducted in '62 along with Bob Feller. And I remember Bob used to tell us stories about how they used to, charter planes and go in and play, barnstorm and play in front of crowds and other people. And Bob was, one of the pioneers. He would rent the charter the plane and everything and end up promoting it.
For the Negro League players, a lot of
right.
He would take a team and fly both teams, and they would go all over the place. Brantley with another foul ball off of his foot.
And interestingly enough, I think Robinson was 0 for 6 off Bob Feller in his career with 3 punch-outs because he told me, and I believe him.
Feller had some success against this Orioles franchise.
I was just looking at that stat that they put in their notes today. 45 career starts against the St. Louis and Baltimore franchise.
There's a line to left field, a base hit for Michael Brantley.
Nice stroke.
Before you get to those Feller numbers, here's Indians pitcher Tony Sipp on the legacy of Jackie Robinson.
Definitely a guy I try to mold myself after, and definitely wouldn't want to mess up anything that he's worked so hard to build. And so I take it as a personal challenge to come out and carry myself on and off the field with respect and just try to carry on what he helped to build and just really pass the torch on to the guys that come after me.
As Asdrubal Cabrera steps in, and a throw to first drives Michael Brantley back.
It's great when the young players nowadays have a knowledge of the history of the game and why it is the way it is today for pioneers in the game like Jackie Robinson. And there's so many along the way for each generation.
There has been over the years much to do made about players and do they know the history of the game? Are they appreciative of it. It's one thing to come into the league and maybe not know a lot, but once you get here, you should take the time to learn it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
to know it, to understand
you know what?
it.
That's how you stay here in this league, is because you do take the time to understand it. You can't be arrogant enough and think you're better than the game, because this game is such a humbling game, as we talk about all the time. You learn about all the great players and all the thresholds and the strikes and what players did to get to where you're at today. And I mean, the good players and the kids of today, or the players of today, they teach and instruct everybody like it should be.
Brantley takes off, throw down. Wieters, what a gun. He
Yes.
got him. I mean, a perfect throw right on the money.
That's okay. That's how you learn. That was a nice throw.
Wieters is definitely an extremely talented young catcher.
I mean, this thing stayed about 2 feet on the ground all the way. Quick, right there. That's about as perfect of throw as you can get. Right on the money.
And with 2 down, the 0-2 pitch is a little bit outside.
Yeah, when you're a baser, there's not much you can do right there. You sort of tip your cap to the catcher.
And as Drupal Cabrera is out looking. Another strong inning for Zach Britton, but it's the Indians who lead it 4-1. $1 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's a place to be to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. All right, 6th inning here at Progressive Field. Justin Masterson has allowed a run on 3 hits. He has retired the side in order 4 out of the 5 innings here tonight.
Well, we just can't say enough how the strikes he's throwing.
Almost 75% of his pitches.
You love it.
There's a liner to right. Chu's going to wait and
the
bounce.
lights, it looked like.
Yeah, he's going to play that on the hop. Leadoff single for Brian Roberts. His 2nd hit of the night.
It's a line drive. He started to come in. Now, I don't know if he was running it into the lights. Watch his reaction. He's coming in, and just said, Maybe he realized right then and there it was hit too hard. He wasn't going to catch it, because you do want to maintain him and keep him to a single with a 3-run lead.
Nick Markakis, 0 for 2, steps in. Fouled out of play.
And if you're the Baltimore hitters, that's why you may want to get up there and get a little more aggressive and swing early in the count, because he's getting ahead of you. He was ahead of, 9 of the 18 batters he faced before Roberts got aboard.
14 of 18 first pitch strikes coming into this inning. Swung out and missed. It's 0-2. 10 ground ball outs thus far for the Indians right-hander. And that's the one thing you hope for if the Orioles do get more aggressive, start swinging earlier in the count. He gets some quick outs like he did in that 5th inning. In the 5th inning, he made just 10 pitches. In the 3rd inning, he made 9. In the 2nd inning, he made 10. So 3 out of the 5 innings, he's made 10 pitches or less to get 3 outs. Texas continues to lead New York 2-1 there in the 5th. White Sox just underway at home against the Angels. Royals trail the Mariners 1-0 in the 1st at home in KC. Popped him up. Might be playable. Third baseman Adam Everett to the railing. He hangs on. Fine play by Adam Everett for out number 1.
Well, you don't know what that wind's doing. If you look at the flags, it would seem that would be pushing it toward the seats. Everett gets over there, and he reaches up, and nice soft landing. You get a little help when you're in front of your home dugout. But he puts it away, and that's a nice out when you get Markakis to foul out.
And now Derek Lee, who had an infield hit his last time up, takes a strike. Elsewhere in the AL, Minnesota on top of Tampa, 1-0 there in the 6th. Toronto trailing Boston 3-0 in the 4th at Fenway. Twins had to put Joe Mauer on the disabled list.
Saw that.
With it's kind of an odd terminology. Tired leg was basically.
Well, he's coming off knee surgery, isn't he?
The 1-1. Nope, throw to first instead. Well, they tried to take it easy on him in spring training to keep him fresh. And I don't know, maybe just didn't get enough work in. You wonder if that led to the fatigue.
Well, they said the other parts of his body are hurting too, not just the knee.
Well, as you and I know, when you start catching every day, managers don't want to take you out. I mean, you're the everyday catcher for a reason, and if his body wasn't ready for that kind of rigor.
Well, I know how managers feel. That's true. I don't know how it would be to be behind that dish every day. But you're right. When you've got a guy in there that handles your pitching staff, that's first and foremost the most important thing. But with Mauer, it's his bat and his catching. That's why he got all that money in.
That's why they're going to be very careful with him, too.
Yes, that's right.
3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4.
First walk of the night.
While we have a moment, let's check in once again with Katie Witham. She's out in the bleachers, I do believe.
I am. I'm out in the packed bleachers, Matt and Rick. I mean, there's barely any seats left out here. Chris here and Timmy were kind enough to let me squeeze in. And you know what? The Time Warner Cable bleachers, just $10. Chris is out here actually celebrating his 12th birthday. How's it going so far? What's your favorite part?
It's awesome. I love how all the runs are scored. We've got 4 now. It's awesome.
They're getting the bat on the ball. And Chris, you've been sitting out here. I mean, what are the bleachers like? Is this a good view?
Yeah, you can see everything. It's awesome.
It is. The best view, and it's even warm out here, guys, believe
I'll
it or
tell
not.
You, those are 2 smart young kids letting you sit in the middle of them to keep them warm. And tell
That's
that kid
right.
to your right that I love that red jersey he's got on. One past the youngster.
Yeah, the old
there
school.
you go.
They
Tell
like
him that's
the
old
jersey.
school.
Tell Rick Manning I said hi.
That a boy. I knew I loved him for a reason.
Got the Bloody Mary top on.
That is great. Tell Rick Manning I said hi.
The 0-1 pitch.
Tell him he can come up to the
way.
booth.
I broke out the Bloody Mary top in fantasy camp
Yes,
for our
you
last
did.
game this year.
That was sweet.
Vladimir Guerrero flied to left and then struck out his last time up. He really chased the ball in the dirt, which is not unusual for Guerrero.
Yeah, but, you know, it's not unusual sometimes to see him hit that ball in the dirt as well. Uh-oh.
Hammers deep to left. Duncan is back on the run, makes the grab. And the runners retreat. Shelly Duncan got a great beat on that ball and would not surrender.
Well, you know what? He extended on it a little bit off the end of the bat. It was a slider, and he had a big swing, but it just caught it off the end where he couldn't drive it. Duncan makes a nice running catch. Base runners have to return, and out number 2.
That will bring up Luke Scott. 2-out RBI single. His last time up, and that was the first run batted in for an Orioles left fielder this year.
No kidding.
They had the fewest runs batted in from their left field spot.
Oh, boy.
Than any team in baseball.
Well, this guy that had a good year last year, he was their man of the year, wasn't he? Put together a nice year, but I don't know if he was playing left field a lot. He was DHing more, wasn't he, without Guerrero there?
That's a good point.
I think he was, because you got Felix P.A.
Foul tip, throw it on to second base. And I'll tell you what, if the throw would have been a little bit lower, they might have had him straying.
That's okay. It's a good try. Keep that guy honest out there, and you make him hustle back. That's why with that shortstop playing behind him, you see their defensive alignment affords Marson the chance to do that because Cabrera's right behind second.
Swung on and missed. He got him. Third strikeout for Justin Masterson. It ends the 6th, and the Indians still lead it 4-1. Matt Laporta also in on the conversation there. Justin has given up just 4 hits tonight, 1 run.
It looks like he's talking about that, maybe that slider or something he threw to Guerrero. I'll bet that's what they're talking about.
Shin-Soo Choo, Shelly Duncan, and Travis Hafner due up for the Indians here in the home half of the 6th inning. Choo 1 for 2 with a single.
Well, this young man has settled down after that 3rd inning, Matt. I mean, he had a brilliant 1, 2, 3 first and second. 6 of the 7 hits that the Indians have came in the 3rd inning.
They came consecutively, no
right,
less.
Right.
Big bouncer at first. Lee with the flip. 1 away. Well, if you missed any of it, here's our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Lou Marson with an RBI single. That was the 2nd hit of that 3rd inning after Laporta tripled. Then his dribble, Cabrera with the bases loaded, knocked in a pair. It was 4-0 Cleveland when Luke Scott drove in the Orioles' only run. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. And over 18,652 dogs sold so far.
Oh, that's right, dog night.
That's the tally. This just in.
Tommy's had about 150 of them. Got to get some of Frank's pickles and peppers to go on there. Huh?
Now we're talking.
That's right. Tommy, you hear that? Frank's pickles and peppers. Let's go.
I want to bring some in tomorrow. That way, if we have some time in the booth before the game, we can have
You're thinking about
hot dog
it,
with peppers. Zach Britton with the 2-0. Duncan drives it deep left center field, but back is Scott, and he's going to have room. It died well short of the warning track. 2 down. Well, let's go back to the studios once again for an in-game update with Al Pulaski.
All right, Matt, let's sit down to Florida where it's a pitcher's duel between Blackburn and Davis. Tampa Bay and Minnesota. The only run right here, a Danny Valencia double in the 5th. Brings home Jim Thome. That's been it thus far. 1-0 Twins. Bottom half of the 6th inning in St. Pete. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. Here it remains 4-1 in favor of the Tribe. Travis Hafner with a sac fly in his last plate appearance in the 3rd inning. Britton's 80th pitch of the night is outside for ball 1. Yeah, you have to feel, if you're Baltimore, you have to feel pretty good about what Britton has done, because the first 6 hitters for the Indians all had hits in the 3rd inning. The bullpen was up and busy. As Hafner launches one toward the bullpen in deep center field, Jones is out of room. It's out of here. Hafner's 3rd home run of the year makes it 5-1 Cleveland. I was just about to say what a nice job Britton had done surviving that 3rd inning and pitching into the 6th. But Hafner gets the Indians a big run here in inning number 6.
Well, you got to like it. I mean, one swing of the bat, he hits it out of the ballpark and challenged the wind. So that means he smoked it. If you can push it against that wind right there, Jones goes up and just watches it fly. So one quick point they put on.
Orlando Cabrera is out number 3. After 6, thanks to Pronk's power, the Tribe is on top 5-1. Go to the 7th inning here at Progressive Field. Austin Kearns takes over for Shelley Duncan in left field.
Yeah, protect the lead, put your better defensive player out there. Masterson, Justin, just 80 pitches. He seems to be in cruise control. 3-1. Strikes to balls.
For Baltimore here in the 7th, Adam Jones, Mark Reynolds, Matt Wieters due up. 60 out of 80 pitches for Masterson strikes. That's just wow,
I love it, man. I'll tell you what, this guy will continue to pitch this way if he throws strikes like that. You know, and what you like about it is you're going deep into ball games. We're in the 7th inning right now, and you know, if he can continue to throw them, there's you see at least 8 in the future. But let's not get 1 inning at a time.
Just now getting somebody up in the Indians bullpen, but I don't know if that's just somebody that needs a little work throwing on the side. Because again, he's only at 82 pitches. And a foul back. 1-2 the count. Justin
he's
Germano,
just getting work.
That's your long man.
Yeah, he's just getting work now. He realizes his night's over, so he's got to throw on the side. Scott Radinsky right there.
Again, if you missed it earlier, Joe Smith was activated from the DL today before the game, so he's in the bullpen. Frank Herman was sent back to AAA Columbus. Big bouncer to short is Dribble Cabrera. Guns it over. And Adam Jones is out number 1. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Since Jackie Robinson, who else has been able to steal home plate 15 times or more since World War II?
My guess would have been Rodney Carew.
17 for Rod Carew. All of Jackie Robinson's steals of home were straight steals.
Yeah. That's not the back end of a double steal,
yeah.
Right.
2 down as Reynolds grounds out to short. Sunday night at 9, after all bets are off with Bruce Drennan, stay tuned for Jimmy Hanlon and the Golf Zone. He'll get you up to date on the PGA, take your calls and emails about your golf game. It's the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon, Sunday night at 9, after all bets are off right here on STO. I'd love to get Jimmy's take on, was it Kevin Na? Was that the guy? Kevin Na?
That had a 16 or something like that?
16.
Right, 12 over.
Down in Texas?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there. I know where that guy's hitting. I've seen that shot before. Except you and I usually, after about 2 or 3 waxes, pick it up and throw it out.
Yeah, it gets the old foot wedge or the hand wedge out of there. I guess Kevin didn't buy any mulligans before that hole.
Well, you know, I did wonder as I was watching the highlight play out why he wouldn't have just picked up and gone back to the tee again, or can you only?
Well, because you get in the woods and once you start trying to hack out of there, you sort of made your decision.
And you could tell, I think, as he was walking to the green with his caddy, I don't even think they.
You know, if he would have parred that hole, I think he would have shot a 68.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He was 12 over.
12 over on that hole.
Yeah.
Down and in. What happened to that rule about you're never worse than no more than an 8?
Well, that's that.
You went double 8.
That's
double
duffers.
snowman.
Those are duffer rules, or hacks.
3-1
because you want to get finished within 5 hours.
Weekly hit to center. Brantley is there. And Justin Masterson cruises through the 7th on 10 pitches. He retires the side in order for the 5th time tonight. Seventh inning stretch here at Progressive Field. Indians with a 5-1 lead. And the Orioles go to their bullpen. Right-hander Josh Roop coming on in relief of Zach Britton.
Fourth time this year Roop has appeared. Minor league free agent. He signed with the Orioles back on November 23rd. Splitting last year between Kansas City and AAA Omaha, so he was with the Royals a little bit last year.
Zach Britton went 6 innings tonight, allowing 5 runs on 8 hits. He walked 1, struck out 6. Bottom third of the Indians' order due up here. They were due up to start the 3rd inning, and that's when the Indians did their damage. Laporta started it with a triple. Then Marson, Everett, Brantley, Cabrera, and Chu all followed with consecutive singles. It led to a 4-run 3rd inning for the Tribe.
Well, the one thing that we've seen the Indians do a lot in this early part of the season, get the lead, play from in front, and also do very well in the opening games of series like we talked about in our open today.
Trying to go 4-1 in series openers with a win here tonight. And then after tonight, two day games back to back, Saturday and Sunday, scheduled for 1 o'clock starts. Tomorrow, Josh Tomlin against Jeremy Guthrie. Fausto Carmona, Brad Burgesson scheduled for Sunday. Two balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch, and it's a little bit low. And the count is now 3-2 for Matt Laporta. Josh Roop with a payoff pitch, and Laporta with a base hit into left field, skipping it past third baseman Mark Reynolds. Well, Laporta 2 for 2 on the night.
Well, fell behind early, and then Roop makes a mistake upstairs. Matt Laporta able to pull that ball, get it past Reynolds at third base into left field for hit number 9 for the Tribe.
Lou Marson drove in a run and scored in the 3rd. One ball and 1 strike for Marson. Foul ball makes the count 1-2. one hopper, no, on two hops. It's bobbled by the shortstop, Izturis, but they recover to get the force at second. Good hustle by Marson. He's safe at first. A hot skipper to Izturis. Cost them the double play, but they get the lead runner. Our minor league report. Genmar Gomez last night against Toledo. And a doubleheader. 8 hits, 7 punch-outs. Grady Sizemore with a home run. Helped the Clippers to win it 1-0. Sizemore coming along very well on his rehab. Adam Everett drove in a run and scored in the third. Two quick strikes on the Indians' third baseman, who is 1 for 2 tonight. A little bit low.
You know, anytime you're an extra guy like Everett, it's nice when you do get a start to try and you do something in the game that, you know, helps you do it. And every time he started, he's done something to succeed.
You know, you're right. He's been
in the middle of a lot of stuff.
Everything.
Yes, he has. And I mean, that's what you look for when you're an extra guy. I just want a chance to help my team do something, but he's been involved every time he started. The big stolen base against Boston when we won 1-0. He ended up scoring that run on the squeeze play.
He also had the big heads-up defensive play that ended that game.
That's right.
If memory serves, he had a couple of hits in Anaheim the other day.
Yeah, and I mean, third base is all new to him when he's playing it. You know, but he's the utility guy now.
1-2, and a base hit again for Adam Everett. 2 more knocks here tonight. Marson stops at second.
Oh boy, down in the count.
Well, let's see if the Indians can take advantage of the Orioles not being able to turn that double play and add to their lead here.
Well, he was down in the count at 1.0-2, and again, Roop, who had Laporta down. Laporta gets a base hit, and back comes Everett. He gets one as well.
Two on, 1 out. Michael Brantley will be the batter. In the dirt. Still waiting a word on the official attendance tonight, but we received unofficial word that they had more than 5,000 walk-up paying customers.
That's
tonight.
great. Well, that's what happens. You go out on the West Coast, you get off to a decent start, and you know people they're anxious. They want to see good baseball, or they want to see winning baseball. Makes it fun. I was just hoping that the weekend would be nice because many more people may be here. You know, with the forecast tomorrow, it doesn't look very good. Well, later tonight and into tomorrow.
Two on, 1 out, 2-0 pitch to Brantley. And it's ball 3. On the 3-0 pitch. It's low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for Asdrubal Cabrera.
Well, whether you're spending a family night, date night, or special occasion out here at the ballpark, you might want to make your plans with 10 a great fireworks presentation. As always, they are on Fridays and some select Saturday home games this year. So visit Indians.com for dates and ticket info.
Cabrera takes the ball. It's down low, and all of a sudden, Josh Roop can't find the plate.
Yeah, here comes Cabrera. Another chance with the bases loaded.
He drove in a pair back in the third when the bags were filled with Indians. While we have a moment, let's shoot it back to the studios for another in-game update with Al Pulowski.
All right, man, let's go back down to St. Pete's where it was 1-0 in favor of the Twins, but Tampa has scored 5 now. Johnny David's single here in the bottom half of the 6th inning drove in 2 to make it 2-1. Tampa's added 3 more. 5-1 Rays, bottom of the 7th in St. Petersburg. Back to you.
All right, Al. Johnny Damon's starting to get hot, and the Rays are trying to win their 4th in a row. Here the Indians have them loaded. With 1 out, a 1-0 count for Asdrubal Cabrera. Tribe on top 5-1. Asdrubal with a 2-run single in the third. He is also grounded out and struck out tonight. And the 1-0 in for a strike.
That's a good idea. It looked like Cabrera taking all the way, making him throw a strike in that situation.
Indians everywhere you look, in the 1-1 to Cabrera. He is bounced in there. By the way, quick check of the forecast tomorrow. Look like the rain should start to lighten up and possibly be out of here by 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Perfect. Game time at 1.
Looks like we should be in pretty good shape tomorrow.
I hope that's...
It's supposed to rain all night through the early morning hours tomorrow.
That's okay. We don't mind that.
2-1 bouncing ball in the hole right field. Marson scores. Everett around third. He scores 2. Markakis' throw to third is cut off.
Boy, oh boy, Cabrera delivering again.
4 runs batted in tonight for Asdrubal Cabrera. And the Indians now lead it 7-1.
Early part of the year, and the young man Asdrubal having a knack of driving in some big runs. Gets that ball out over the plate, count in his favor, and finds the hole. He hit one right up the middle the last time for a pair. Hits one to right field. Drives in Marson and Everett. It's now 7-1 Tribe.
I don't know what anybody else is doing tonight, but he might be leading the league in runs batted in now.
Well,
gives him 14 on the year.
Number 2 hole hitter. He's just done a nice job. Opportunities have been there for him, and he's taken advantage of it. Indians 5 out of 6 with runners in scoring position today. Now that's where it comes in handy when you have the big innings.
Chu with a swing and a miss. The 1-1. Chu looks at a ball down low. He's 1 out of 3 on the night. 7 runs on 11 hits for the Indians. Boy, it's nice to see the bats bounce back after they were pretty much put on ice in those last 2 games by the Angels pitching staff. In the air, deep left field. Scott is back, looking up and off the wall. High off the wall. Scoring is Brantley. Cabrera stops at third. Shin-Soo Choo with an RBI double. 8-1 Indians.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Cabrera did the wise thing. He was going to run through the stop sign that Steve Smith had up, and it's good he did not. he did a little slide to stop. He thought he was going to be able to score, but he couldn't. He would have been thrown out. But he did a nice job to just stop and get back to the base because that ball was high off the left field wall. That'll get you going. A little sinker down and away. Hits it high off the left field wall. Didn't miss a home run by much.
I want to see how close this was because it had to be very close.
Yeah, no doubt. Look at that, about a foot.
Yeah. Well, Chu chases Roop. 3 in for the Tribe. They lead it 8-1. Jeremy Accardo.
Well, we remember him when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays. Split time between Toronto and AAA last year for them out in Vegas.
How about the Indians tonight with a runner in scoring position?
Yeah, they're
6 for 7.
They've been outstanding. I mean, that's it. Timely hits, solid pitching goes a long way.
Infield in. Austin Kearns first at bat of the night. Up and in. Spun him out of there. Kearns coming on as a defensive replacement when it was a 5-1 game. And now the Indians really opening it up here in the 7th.
Well, his first pitch, he knows that those guys are hitting pretty well, so there's one way to keep them honest, knock them out of their toehold. Indians with 12 hits on the evening. 4 in this inning, and how about that 6 back in the 3rd inning. So 10 of their 12 hits coming in the 3rd and the 7th. They got a chance to add on.
One to Kearns with that infield drawn in. Misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Checked in, got a piece of the bat. 2-2.
Boy, that can turn that bat around. You know, you instead of going 3-1, it comes back and it's now 2-2.
Justin Masterson has pitched a gem for the Indians.
Yes, he has.
Infield still in for the Orioles. Accardo with the 2-2. And he strikes him out. 2 down in the inning. That'll bring up Travis Hafner, who homered his last time up. He's driven in 2 runs on the night. He had a sac fly back in the 3rd.
they're going to put him on. The intentional walk will load the bases.
I had a feeling they were going to do that if they could get him out, even though it is an 8-1 ball game.
Showalter on the horn. Orlando Cabrera on deck. And he will bat with the bases loaded. And 2 down here in the 7th. Indians batting around for the first time tonight. Orlando Cabrera 0 for 3 tonight. If his early success is any indication, Orlando Cabrera is due for a big hit right here, because in the Indians' wins this year, he's hit .393 with 5 ribbies. In their losses, he's hit just $125 with only 2 driven in.
Okay, so you're throwing him under the bus for the 4 losses.
It's his fault, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, there's no question when you talk to just about anybody around the ball club, the impact that he's had already.
You know, to be honest with you, I never thought he'd have an impact like he has. A lot of these kids have gravitated to him knowing that, you know, he's a good player and has been a good player for a long time.
And the 0-2. Little bit outside.
I mean, he goes about his business very well. And I'll tell you what I'm surprised about, and it's still early. But in the first 2 weeks of this season, his play at second base has been very, very good.
Accardo with a 1-2. And a weak tapper towards second. Roberts throws him out at first. Indians bat around, tack on 3 more. We go to the 8th. 8-1 Cleveland. As we go to the 8th inning, Justin Masterson, after 7 strong innings of work, his night over after just 90 pitches, allowing a run on 4 hits, a walk, 3 strikeouts. And it's kind of a luxury for Manny Acta to be able to take your starter out well shy of his pitch limit for the night. You know, you want to save all the wear and tear you can over the course of a long season.
Job well done, and you get a chance now. You remember the last couple of games, I don't think Perez has been used, so it's time for him to get some work. So, yeah, another great start for Justin Masterson.
Rafael Perez, he's been dynamite so far this year. Cesar Izturis, Brian Roberts, Nick Markakis due up for the Birds. Cesar Izturis 0 for 2 tonight. Both times he is grounded out to first base. But that was against the right-hander Masterson. Still trying that right side. Blooped and just foul.
I had, 12 ground ball outs for Masterson?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Another 12 ground ball outs.
20 out of 26 first pitch strikes. 73% overall strikes tonight.
I'm telling you, if he can do that, he's in for a great year. Good job. And, I think with each start he goes out there and does something like that, more confidence grows inside him. And he's the one that set down the Indians' first win this year after they got rocked against Chicago by Carmona, and then Carrasco was the big man that settled it in.
Well, already then you can look to him as your stopper, because here he is stopping another 2-game losing streak here tonight.
There you have it.
It's not over yet, mind you, but he's done his part.
Close.
He's done his part.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Well, I'm sure Tim Belcher is thrilled. And, I mean, to this point, that's everything, because the reason why the bullpen has been so good early is because the starters have been so good.
Pretty good looking pitch. Didn't get the call, and now it's full at 3-2.
And I think the big difference, they're not walking guys like last year. You're out there, you're throwing strikes, you're letting them hit them. I mean, Minnesota is one of the better pitching staffs in the league every year, and what do? Least amount of walks. You may give up more hits.
Liner toward right and a base hit.
That's a cue shot there, but you'd certainly take them.
Once again, let's send it out to Katie Witham, see where she's roaming around.
Hey, Matt, I'm over here on the third base side. As you can see, I'm hanging out with Sizemore, Santana, and Wild Thing himself, Rick Vaughn. And if you guys don't have your Indians jersey yet, make sure you're here on May 21st. Indians right fielder Shin-Soo Choo is actually giving every single fan one of his jerseys. The Indians are going to be taking on the Reds. It'll be a great day. Check out Indians.com to get your tickets, and make sure you're here May 21st, guys.
Turn around. I wanted to see that jersey.
Oh, yeah, look at this.
I wanted to see that jersey. There you go.
I got mine.
Beautiful.
You like it?
Good for you.
And these guys were just saying they need a Chew jersey, so
well,
they'll be here.
There you go. Good job.
The 0-1 pitch. Brian Roberts, couple of hits tonight, needs 31 doubles to pass Eddie Murray to take over third place all time in the doubles category for the Orioles.
Boy, I mean, I know he's been a pretty good player, but I wouldn't really think that.
Choo runs that down for out number 1. Yeah, he's starting to move into pretty select company.
Well, you look at Eddie Murray, he was an Oriole for a long time, and I mean, he used to wear us out. But to be in that class, to have that many, I know he's a doubles machine, but it's incredible.
Speaking of Orioles history and legendary O's, certainly good news to see Brooks Robinson was released from the hospital just recently, and so that's good news. He was
What was that? I didn't see he was in the hospital.
It was in March. He was going in for a surgical procedure, and then something went awry. He got an infection, and so he's been in the hospital for almost 2 months.
Did not realize that.
Or a little over a month, I should say, not 2 months.
What a great player and a nice man he is.
The 0-1 pitch. And a liner towards short. Skip hop. Oh, what a pick by Cabrera. And that's an inning-ending double play. Great hands by Asdrubal Cabrera. And the inning is over. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Progressive Field. And the Orioles once again go back to their bullpen. Kojei Uhara coming in now. A right-hander will work for the 4th time this year. And what do you know? He's going to be facing the bottom third of the Indians order, which has been a lot of trouble for the Orioles tonight.
They scored 5 of the 8 runs. They're the ones that got it going back in the 3rd inning. It was Laporta, Marson, and Everett. Marson and Everett have 4 of the runs scored. So, yeah, they have done their share. No question about it.
Robert Andino now in at second, and Jake Fox behind the plate. There's a high fly ball to center. And backpedaling is Adam Jones. First time Laporta's been retired tonight. One away. Tonight's box score brought to you by Hyundai. Join the movement. And the Indians up and down the lineup have done some damage. Only Duncan and Cabrera without a knock tonight. And as you see, 5 of the 9 starters have multiple hits. That's another calling card early in the year for this offense, and that is when they have success, it's usually everybody or a multiple. It's not usually one guy hits a 3-run homer and then drives in 2 more with a double later.
I like that.
Usually everybody has a hand in it. Although tonight, Asdrubal Cabrera does have the big RBI total with 4. And Lou Marson with a towering drive deep left field, and it's the center fielder Jones who ultimately grabs it 2 away. Back to the studios one more time for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt, the Tribes tied with KC for the top spot in the AL Central, and KC stays hot in the early going here against Seattle. 2-run homer, bottom of the 3rd for Jeff Francoeur, his 2nd of the year, and the Royals lead the M's 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th at Kauffman Stadium. Back to you, Matt.
Two down for Adam Everett. And he lifts a pop fly on the right side of the infield. Derek Lee in foul ground, and the Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the ninth. It's 8-1 Cleveland. Joe Smith, just activated off the DL, will come on now for the Tribe, making his first appearance of the year. And a first pitch strike to Derek Lee.
Always nice that he's just activated today, that you get an opportunity to get right back in a ball game.
Fouled away. It's 0-2. And a smash to left center. Michael Brantley runs it down in the gap. Lee with a big wide turn, but he holds with a long leadoff single here in the ninth. Well, we told you earlier we had a big walk-up crowd tonight. Katie Witham has the latest details on tonight's attendance.
Oh, my gosh. Wait till you hear this, Matt. Grab your pen right now so you can write it down. 16,346 sold tickets, 5,511 walk-ups, and it is Sugardale Dollar Dog Night, the first one of the season. 25,588 hot dogs that were sold as of 9:20 tonight.
How did you count them all?
I was the one that was in line, actually.
Back there with a spatula, frying them up. Swing and a miss by Vladdy Guerrero. It's 0-2. Well, that's certainly great news. I mean, as you said, Rick, the team played well on a West Coast trip, had the 8-game win streak, and these fans have obviously responded. 0-2 pitch in the air, left center. I mean, those numbers may not be eye-popping the most, but they've doubled the attendance since the last time we were here.
Why not come on out and watch a good ball game? The team's playing well. It's fun. And that's another reason why it's nice to see him off to a good start. So you hope that, there are some people that come out here and sit in the seats, cheer for a team that's playing well.
Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show comes your way after we wrap things up. If you missed any of the early action, stick around. We'll have the highlights. In the air, left side, deep, Kearns, corner, makes the grab, keeps it in fair ground, 2 away. Back to first goes Derek Lee, and it brings up Adam Jones, who is 0 for 3 on the night. And so this crowd of better than 16,000 came out on a Friday night. Conditions weren't exactly ideal with a brisk breeze blowing in, temperature in the high 40s at game time. But they were treated to another outstanding display of Indians baseball tonight. 8 runs, a dozen hits for the Tribe. And Justin Masterson dominant on the hill with 7 innings, allowing just 1 run on 4 hits. Joe Smith delivers, and it's in for strike 1. And that almost hit him. I'm not sure how it missed him. Swing and a miss. Derek Lee takes off. No stolen base there. Indifference will be the call. He's in the scoring position with 2 away. And this crowd up on its feet. And the 1-2. Rounder to short. Gets by. There's Dribble, and stopping at third is Derek Lee. That ball just skipped past him. So 2 on, 2 out. And Mark Reynolds 0 for 3 will be the batter. Right back here tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, our game time on STO. Indians and Orioles continue the series. One-0 pitch. He couldn't hold up. Orioles at second and third now as the Indians just let him go. Their only concern right now is the man at the plate. And the 1-1 pitch is a little slow tapper hit to third. And it hits the bag, a fair ball. So an infield little single for Mark Reynolds drives in a run to make it 8-2. And stopping at third is Adam Jones.
There's really nothing you could do there if you're Everett at third, because he wasn't going to be able to throw Reynolds out, so you have to let it go and hope it rolls foul. So it does not. It hits the bag. That's a single. That's a ribby.
First and third, 2 down. Matt Wieters 0 for 3 at the plate. And a ball down low. And that hit him, and the bases are loaded. And all of a sudden, Joe Smith's working himself into a jam here. Bases loaded, 2 down. One more Oriole gets aboard, and the tying run moves to the on-deck circle. So they're going to have to get the bullpen busy. As Tim Belcher jogs out for a chat with Joe Smith. Denny Pistano is loosening in the Tribe pen. I mean, he's thrown 12 out of 16 pitches for strikes. But he's had a couple of guys down on the count and wasn't able to put them away, and that's led to his trouble here.
Well, you know, it's like even though you go out on rehab, you have a chance to play. You got to bring him into a game with an opportunity to pitch. So you got to get your work in. But it's like he's starting in spring training all over again.
Left-handed hitting, Cesar Torres, 1 for 3 on the night. And it's quickly 0-2. Now the set and the 2-strike pitch. Got him. The Indians are back in the win column. 8-2 is the final score here tonight. Justin Masterson gets the win. He's now 3-0 with an ERA of 1.33. Losing pitcher Zach Britton, it's his first. He's 2-1 on the year. With the win, Indians stop their 2-game skid. They're 9-4. With the loss, Baltimore has dropped 5 in a row, and they are back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. Time now for our play of the game. It's brought to you by Key Bank. Thanks for making Key Bank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Well, let's go back to that third inning. The Indians already had a couple innings, and we're just going to play for a little inning. Have a little inning, and guess what? Michael Brantley laid down a beautiful bunt. The call goes the Indians' favor. It was a bang-bang play at first base. They end up having a big inning after Brantley beats it out. Good hustle, good play, and the results were very good. That's going to be our Key Bank key play of the game.
Well, I thought it was important for the Indians to bounce back here tonight after losing the last 2 in Anaheim. They stopped their skid in a hurry, and they do it in resounding fashion by hammering out 8 runs on a dozen hits. We're back with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show next.